Hello everybody, today we are in Waterton National Park. It's a gorgeous day, just a little bit windy though, only about 80 km/h winds out here. But the reason I wanted to come is because especially now, until about May when the tourist season really picks up, Waterton is mostly a ghost town, a zombie town if you will, and it happens to be one of the beautiful Alberta locations where The Last of Us has been shot. So that is exactly why we are here. I want to take a look at the town and its current deserted state to get that real post-apocalyptic feel, if you will. And because drones are not permitted in national and provincial parks in Canada, unfortunately, if you want to get a top-down view of the beautiful scenery that I'm looking at right now, well, we're going to have to climb that mountain over there, which we're going to do a little bit later. So let's get going. So as you can see, this place is very nice, very quaint, very quiet, and by quiet I mean, well, it's basically deserted. It's just me and the crows and the snow and the wind out here. It is getting a little bit chilly, and yeah, we should probably get going with the little hike that I wanted to do, but the town itself is fantastic. I can see this place being incredibly nice to visit in the summertime once all the restaurants and the ice cream stores open. The shoreline, again, spectacular, amazing scenery. And once you can get on those boat tours in the summer, again, once the lake melts, it's going to be fantastic. But let's get on that hike and let's see what kind of scenery you can get from the top of that mountain. Hi everybody and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the footage from Waterton Lake. I hope it's as nice as I believe it to be, and I hope it was a unique and serene experience. Now there's also a lot of history associated with this location. You know, the very famous hotel, the Prince of Wales Hotel, which was established in 1925. Very famous landmark, which basically is immediately associated with Waterton. You have some unique circumstances under which Waterton joined the UNESCO World Heritage Program. Lots of fun facts if you're interested in this location and you plan on visiting sometime in the future. Now, the one fun fact that I like to share with everybody is the fact that Waterton straddles the border between Canada and the United States, which means there's both a Canadian Waterton and also an American Waterton, and both are accessible via the waterway, the boat tours in the summertime once the lake does melt. And as a result, as you saw, we have both the Canadian flags and the American flag at that Peace Park, as well as in front of the Visitor Information Center. So a lot of fun history to look into if this location is, again, of interest to you. Now, being Canadian myself, I came from the Canadian side, of course. And from Calgary, which is the largest city in Alberta, it is about a 3-hour drive south. Now, that happens to be the case if you're not visiting from out of province and you're going straight there to Waterton. But if you are coming here and you plan on taking your time, there's a lot of gorgeous scenery that you might want to stop for. A lot of nice towns along the way where you can get some snacks or refuel. So generally, it's a good idea and a safe bet to budget for a 4-hour one-way drive from Calgary to Waterton. It's about 2 hours from Lethbridge if you happen to be coming from the south. Now, Waterton is also known as one of the jewels of the Canadian Rockies, and it's really hard to argue with that claim to fame when you see some of that ridiculous scenery that happens to be there, which actually reminds me a little bit of the Valley of the Gods in Jasper National Park, where you have Moline Lake, similar setup, very long stretch of water with mountains on other side and an infinite amount of absolutely jaw-dropping scenery along the way. So if you can't take those boat tours, would recommend. But where Waterton Lake differs a little bit is the fact that it is the point where the rolling, fields, the prairies of Alberta meet the Rocky Mountains. And with that comes a few unique circumstances, a few unique, basically encounters, if you will. It is a very active wildlife corridor. Very, very many species kind of cross through the Waterton Lake area, from sheep and deer and, of course, bears. Bears are definitely very frequent in the area. So if you are not a local and you are coming from out of province, always make sure to have bear spray on you and be ready to basically deal with any situation that you might encounter. And speaking of, make sure to always have proper footwear and also bring an extra shell, an extra layer. You are in the mountains, inclement weather can happen at any time, so it's best to be prepared for that. Now, with the wildlife also comes endless amounts of different species of flowers, dozens of different plants that you can see and hopefully not interact with physically, but just visually from far away. We do want to try and preserve the pristine nature of the park and not harm any of the environment that we are enjoying as a result. And you can see those from spring all the way through fall, depending on their cycles, of course. So I very much enjoyed the winter scenery as well. That's kind of where we tie in The Last of Us, the very famous show. And I would imagine the fact that, during winter, there's only 1 or 2 businesses that are open in Waterton definitely came in quite handy as far as setting up the set and filming everything with basically no one around to get in the way. But I personally would recommend that you visit Waterton for everything else it has to offer, some of which we have already covered. Just a magnificent location, lots of wonderful things to do there, lots of different activities. The wildlife, again, do approach with caution, especially, and if bears, maybe not approach at all, just, safety first, if you will. But one of the things I have not mentioned is the fact that Waterton actually has some of the best hiking in North America. And as a result, I definitely plan on returning in the summer and in the fall to do some of the more strenuous hikes, which are definitely not recommended when you see how much snow still happens to be in the mountains right now. So definitely planning on returning there in the future, and you're going to enjoy the scenery from those hikes, I would imagine. Now, speaking of trips, I wasn't able to confirm this before, but it looks like I will in fact be returning to Japan in May, which is coming up very, very quick in just a few weeks here. And this time around, I'm not going to be sticking around the Tokyo area much. Now, Tokyo is my favorite city in the world, so I will spend 3 or 4 days there. You can definitely look forward to some footage and a couple different videos from that 4-day stay. Tokyo is just spectacular. I love everything about that city. Just the endless variety of literally everything from food to entertainment to just accessibility and everything that it has to offer. But on this particular trip, we're going to be focusing more on the southern part of Japan, and I don't want to spoil anything. We're going to be spending quite a bit of time there, checking out a few of the different cities and a few of the different attractions, of course. And I have a lot of cool ideas. So, if you enjoy my style, if you enjoy my content, definitely make sure to subscribe, as there is a lot of stuff coming your way later this year. So I don't want to spoil too much. Again, do check it out coming May. And a guilty confession, if you will, I did actually use this video as a way to test a few different things, one of which was a microphone. So this is the microphone in question. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It is the Sony ECM B10. It is a hot shoe mounted microphone, and it basically means no wires. It feeds from the battery of your camera, and I believe it passed the test with flying colors. I thought to myself, how would I test this microphone best? Well, let's put it in a tornado. As you saw, it is extremely windy at Waterton, and it was still able to isolate my voice, my footsteps, and everything that I kind of wanted front and center as far as the audio is concerned. So very, very impressed with this microphone. And the other thing that I wanted to test was this particular lens, 16 to 35 f4. And again, as someone who likes to kind of explore the sweeping vista type of shot, the 16 millimeter is absolutely spectacular. I don't know how I survived without it all of this time. The f4 doesn't bother me much. Everybody loves bokeh, but we can make it work. The f4 means it's lighter, and for the types of hiking and the types of content that I like to film, not a drawback as far as I'm concerned. But that 16 millimeter is so very sweet. So both pieces of kit have passed with flying colors as far as I'm concerned. And you can be sure that they will be following me to Japan to help me record even more glorious content for you to take a look at. So do stay tuned for that. Again, if you do enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. That is it for me for this video. Thank you very much for watching this far. If you are still here, I appreciate your time very, very much. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.